Hello, everybody. Welcome. Good morning. Today's topic is going to be all about FOMO. So, you feel like you're constantly on your phone because you don't want to miss out the latest news thing. You find yourself buying up all the Labubus because you're worried that they won't be around anymore. Or you're always constantly chasing the latest trend because you feel like you have to. Well, I'm here to tell you, you don't have to. Why are we like this? And how can we help ourselves if we've decided that's no longer serving our needs? Hi, everybody. My name is Johanna Dinsdale. I am a therapist from Multi-Therapy, qualifying psychotherapist in Toronto, Canada. And I like to share tips and tricks about therapy, we like to catch up with people on these live streams, just hear what's going on with everybody. And if this is your first time here, please subscribe. I'd love for you to be part of our group. So let's get started, guys. What is FOMO? So FOMO stands for the fear of missing out. Now, this became popularized, I think, when I was maybe in high school. Everybody was saying, oh, FOMO this, FOMO that. And to this day, it remains a term, which is fun. I like when our language sticks around, I don't know how long 6'7's gonna stick around, but, we move. We always like to try out new languages and whatnot. What are some trends or FOMOs that you guys have felt? I'd love to hear it. So for example, what FOMO do I fall into? I used to fall into the FOMO of going to concerts, okay? I'd constantly be invited to concerts and I would always say yes. But here's the thing, guys. I don't love concerts that much. I really don't. I don't know what it is, but I just do not enjoy the experience. I think I like hearing the crispness of the music, and when you're in like a big group, you just can't hear very well. It's all sweaty and I don't know, people are bumping into you all the time. So it's just not for me. I mean, for some rare occasions, I might decide to go to a concert, depending on who it is. I think I might go to a concert for, who would I do it for? I would go for a concert for Muse. Absolutely, I would. Those guys are great. I would go for Cat's Eye. Those are very talented ladies. I love their dances. But other than that, it would take a lot for me to go. And how did I conquer this fear of FOMO? Well, guys, I will tell you all about that later on. How to confront your fears. Let's start with kind of this deep-seated anxiety driven by specific core psychological forces, okay? So first we got social comparison, right? Your brain is telling you, how am I doing compared to the tribe? FOMO specifically, social media often brings this out in us, right? We see all these other people doing these big fun things, so we feel like, oh, that's what we're supposed to be doing. It's the social comparison that really gets us twisted, okay? And since we're seeing all these wins and highlight reels of everybody else, it makes us feel a little bit down, like, oh, we haven't been living our best life, when in reality, people are living normal lives and they're just showing you the good stuff, right? We always have to remember that's the case when it comes to social media. The second psychological thing that's happening when we're feeling FOMO is called the scarcity trap. So that's this idea that resources are limited. We might not be able to get these concert tickets ever again if we don't do it now. This opportunity will vanish forever, which sometimes might be the case. I remember there was this, who was it? Oh, guys, I really like Miley Cyrus, and honestly, I really wish I went to her Bangers tour. So that's one thing where I still have FOMO. I'm like, I wish that I was I was able to go to that one, but unfortunately, yeah. I was not able to go. So, yeah, you just gotta go with the flow sometimes. Hi. Hi, everybody. Okay. The next one is the dopamine loop. So that's when every time you check your phone or you follow through with your FOMO, you might get this dopamine rush, right? You feel good about that decision. And that reinforces that schedule for your brain to keep seeking, keep conditioning you to live in a perpetual state of this kind of like restlessness and fractured attention, right? And what you guys know, if you've ever been on the channel, exactly, I love to use examples of fictional characters, okay? So I'm going to start off with Carrie from Sex and the City. She is constantly chasing the next social event, you know? She's always looking for her ideal relationship. You know, her life is just so relentless. Like, it's constantly go, 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 looking for parties, looking for parties, looking for parties. And there's a bit of this fear that if she stays home, she'll become irrelevant or boring, right? Our friend Carrie from Sex and the City could definitely work on that, I think. Hi, Kurosh. Hello, Magnum. What are those certificates in the background? I am a therapist, guys, a qualified psychotherapist. So I got all sorts of degrees and stuff. I like to have them back there so people know I know somewhat what I'm talking about. I have my master's in counseling psychology, a degree in applied sciences. I mostly work with people with anxiety and couples, Joel. Thanks for asking. Hope you guys are having a great time, and feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. We're talking FOMO, guys. Have you ever experienced FOMO? If you have, what was that like for you? When did you feel like you were missing out and you really had to do something? Another example is Leslie Knope from Parks and Rec, guys. I think I was talking about her last week, but she's back. I think she's a great example of FOMO because she signs up for literally everything. She signs up for all of the volunteer jobs. She signs up for every committee. She attends every meeting, right, that she can possibly go to. And in the end, you know, she really can do it all, but she gets burnt out, right? She gets overwhelmed by all these things that she's committed to. And she has this anxiety that if she's not there, something important will be missed or it will fail without her, because in her mind, you know, she wants to help so much that it leads to overcommitment and burnout. Hi, Michael. Right? I know. I mean, I paid a lot to get these things, so I might as well display them. Am I right? I wish school was free, guys. I really do. I think it should be free, personally. We can only get benefits for all the smart people out there to get their education, and it just helps for the benefit of, I don't know, everybody. If we're able to learn about things we're passionate about. Okay, guys, and what's another example? I love using the Labubu craze because that's two things happening, right? There's the fear of missing out component where, you know, oh, I want this Labubu. Labubus, of course, are little keychains that you hook onto your purses. I'm sure you guys have heard of them. If not, they're in my thumbnail. They're like these little monster things that have gotten quite popular. They were popularized by a K-pop star. I can't remember her name. I'm blanking. But yeah. She started wearing them on her purse, and after that, everybody wanted one. But now there's kind of a bit of scarcity, right? Because they got popular so quickly, there was not enough made. So people are going bananas over these things. Like, they're trying so hard to get them. And now there's these big, like, fake industries making Labubus, so like knockoff Labubus. And then people are comparing, like, oh, your Labubu's fake, so you're fake and stuff like that. And yeah, it's all about psychology, guys. Like, is there a real difference between a fake Labubu and a real Labubu? Not really. Maybe a little bit of quality or something along those lines. But yeah, just because you paid $80 for one and $25 for the other one makes it a big deal for some reason. You just got to remember, all of these things are crafted carefully, so in your brain the value of it is more than the other thing, when if you just look at the two of them, they're the same thing, right? Oh, I zoomed into my face again. I always do that. Let's get real close and proximity here. There we go. I fixed it. Do you guys have any Labubus? Let me know. I bought my sibling one as a joke and they really loved it, so I'm glad that they did. Hey, P4X, what's going on? It's a status game, absolutely. For example, I love like Abercrombie. I don't love it personally, but it's like you put a little moose on your shirt and now all of a sudden it's $110 as opposed to the same shirt with no moose, $5. Pretty wild designer stuff. Yeah, that's what I heard. I think it's based off of monster lore, Dutch lore, or something like that, and I'm not sure. But yeah, they do kind of look like little demons, don't they? Good morning, Joel. Thank you for saying good morning. That's very sweet. If I'm a therapist, prove it. I don't know how I would prove that. How does that make you feel, Lyle? Does that count? Does that count? A sociopath and a psychopath would be able to recognize each other on the street. I doubt it. Maybe. You think if they made eye contact, they'd just know? That's very kind of like cinematic, huh? You're walking by the street and you just sense it and you're like, hey, maybe. Those Supreme hoodies, yes. Oh my gosh, yes. And the more popular they get, the more expensive they get too, right? Us humans are so silly when it comes to this stuff. Oh, good morning, Lorraine. Welcome. We're talking about FOMO. We talk Labubus. We talked going to concerts. Have you ever experienced FOMO, Lorraine? And if so, how? And when? And why? And what? Did I miss one? Where? Joel, you don't have to prove if they don't want to. They could change the channel. Yeah, for sure. FOMO. We talked different examples too, myself included. But now let's talk about how to get over it, the feeling of FOMO. FOMO is the fear of missing out, Lorraine. So, for example, if you want to jump on a trend or you feel like you have to go to all these social events, not because you want to, because if you're not there, you feel like you'll miss out on something. Yeah, there's the now or never grounding check that we use in therapy, is when you feel the intense urge to check or do something, just ask yourself, like, is there really something I want to do here? Like, is this something I actually want to do? Is this a now or never feeling? And FOMO, if you guys try to imagine that feeling, picture a time that has happened to you. Really dive deep right now. Really think about it. When was a time that you felt FOMO? And just notice that sensation, right? For me, it's just like this kind of like, what happened? Like, I really got to do this. That's kind of my feeling when it comes to that. Like, ooh, then I'm gonna ground myself. I'm like, okay, let's check in with myself. Let's see if this is something I actually want to do. When it comes to concerts, 9 times out of 10, it's a no. I don't actually want to go. Maybe I want to hang out with my friends. If it's a group of friends, I'm like, oh, I don't want to miss out. You know, like, what if they come up with a inside joke and I'm not there? That's the real reason I want to go. That's FOMO. I don't actually want to go to this event. Oops. Oh, I'm not sure why it was held for review. Oh. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened there, Lorraine. I don't see it being held for review. Huh. My message is held for review. Johnny. Okay. Yeah, my chair makes all sorts of weird sounds, but let's see. There we go. Digital screen detox. Yes. If you guys are feeling really overwhelmed with FOMO, like you're constantly having to get a Labubu all the time because they're always up in your face, it's okay to just slow down and say, you know what? I'm going to take a digital break. Sometimes you can say just before going to bed, I'm not going to use my phone. And just, it's going to train your brain to stop being in that constant chasing state, right? Sometimes we're a bit scared of boredom. And boredom's actually pretty good for our brains, you know, within moderation, of course. But we don't have to constantly be stimulated with all this stuff that's going on. And I feel like that's been becoming quite popular, having something always to entertain us. But it's okay to just chill, you know, clean up with no music or something, or read a book, just slowing things down a bit. Take a breath. Use that digital detox time to just center yourself. Okay, let's see the chat here. For Us by Us, a clothing company. Oh, I've never heard of that. Lorraine, that's what you were really into? For Us by Us, a clothing company. Okay, yeah, I find that everybody goes that phase sometimes where you just really want to buy like one certain brand or something. That's definitely something I struggle with in high school. I think that's where FOMO comes out the most, where it's like, oh my gosh, all my friends are wearing Uggs, so I have to wear Uggs or else I'm not cool, right? That's a FOMO, fear of missing out right there. Hi, Aldo. Shout out from Sina. Hey, thanks for joining the chat. Spitter, spatter. You missed out on hanging out with your friend yesterday because you're sick, but it's okay because all we do is drink and talk smack about people we don't like. That's a FOMO right there. Yeah. But you got to be gentle with yourself too. I mean, FOMO is a very normal, natural state. So it's just when it becomes too much for you, where you're constantly chasing and you feel like, okay, it's really becoming an issue for me. That was me in concerts. I'm like, I need to stop going to these because every time I go to a concert, I really dislike it. And I know that's going to be kind of controversial. It's just not for me, guys. It's too loud. It's too noisy. I'm a quiet girly. I like just chilling. Okay. Spitter spatter. You need to find some better friends, but you're afraid you don't have a lot in common with good people. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, sorry, splitter splatter. That is a great question, and I think that fear, I wonder what kind of things you're interested in. Common with good people. What do you mean by that? It sounds like you have some interests that you're worried that other people who are good won't have. Oh my gosh, so many chats. You used to wear FUBU, but you like to be a plus for this stream. What do you mean by plus, Lorraine? I know, I sometimes get caught up in the designer stuff, but I feel like for me, I like to try to find designer stuff for cheap. But again, I'm still falling into the category of it's designer, so it's better. I'm brainwashed, guys. But you know what? It's not the end of the day. It's kind of like whatever you value in life. Check in if that aligns with it. Aw, thanks, P4X. Yeah, I tried my best. I'm looking forward to doing some more certifications soon. I want to do trauma certification, EMDR. That would be kind of cool. I would love to do some OCD training as well. I just want to be well-rounded. You know what I'm saying, guys? It's always good, like, for the things that I don't have that much knowledge in. Never hurts to just fortify it a bit more by taking a course. Plus, in Canada, you have to do certifications. You have to take a certain amount in order to keep your license. So that's important too. Plus equals a contribution to this channel. Oh, Lorraine, of course you're a contribution to this channel. FOMO is a peer pressure to conform. Yeah, it's a fear of missing out on things. So it could be a fear of missing out on a trend. It could be a fear of missing out with hanging out with people. There's all sorts of different FOMOs that you could experience. Yeah, but it's confronting the fear, basically, is what we're talking about. So let's do another example, guys. If you feel these anxieties or envy towards other people, you can try to mentally list some steps that person likely went through to get that result. So this kind of helps you figure out actionable steps if this is something that's really important to you or not. So for example, if you see people online and they're all getting plastic surgery or something, and you're like, oh my gosh, they look so good. Should I be getting plastic surgery? Right? That's when you have to list these steps that they went through to get that result, right? It's like, okay, they have to book that consultation. They're going to have to go through the recovery. They're going to have to get the surgery done. And then they're going to have to, explain to everybody about this. Is that something that aligns with my values? And it might. You might say, okay, that seems really worth it. It's worth the money. It's worth the progress or process to get there. Or you might say, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm confronting my fear of FOMO, and I'm realizing that this does not align with something that I need. And again, like as a therapist, I'm not I'm not a philosopher. I'm just somebody to make sure that you're following what aligns with you. Some people really love plastic surgery and some people don't. It's all okay, because that's not my job to make sure somebody's doing one way or another. Lorraine, well-rounded is very good. Yeah. How long have I been a therapist? Not long, actually. I've been doing clinical hypnosis for 6-7 years, and then I just got certified to be a qualifying psychotherapist last year. So yeah, still relatively new. Oh my gosh, my camera again. Why you gotta get so close to my face? There we go. No. Please stay there. Okay. Always notice like so later too. Oh, hey Matt, how's it going? What do you have FOMO in, Matt? Jack of all trades, but in your case, you're gonna be the master of all. Oh, thanks, Pilforix. Yeah, exactly. You gotta keep working on, right? Malasso. You used to get FOMO all the time until you decided to have you time, even if your friends are doing things without you. which I was sensitive about until I started loving yourself and spending more time with me. Oh my gosh, Melissa, I feel that. I think I went through that too. Sometimes it can be difficult when you see friends hanging out together without you, because you're like, oh my gosh, why wasn't I invited and stuff? And it can be like feeling very personal. But yeah, you got to remember that in the end of the day, you want to hang out with people who want to hang out with you. And sometimes it's okay that they want to hang out with like smaller groups or something, and not to take it too personally. That's about having enough, self-esteem. Exactly. Enough love for yourself to say, you know what, I am worthy and I want to be with people who want to be with me. So yeah, if you find it's happening often and you're getting excluded, you can always tell them how you feel. Not specifically saying you have to hang out with me, but it's like, hey, listen guys, I'm starting to question why you're always hanging out without me. Can we talk about this? And I think that's a good way of putting it. Like, let's just talk about this so I can have a better understanding about why this is happening, right? And sometimes it's just, oh, I don't know, we just knew you didn't love Lord of the Rings and we wanted to watch Lord of the Rings, so that's what we did. Could be as simple as that. Lorraine, you have so many hypothetical questions about hypnosis, but in due time. Yeah, Lorraine, absolutely. You can, how about this? Maybe within the next few weeks, we can do a hypnosis live stream. Not like to do hypnosis per se, but to talk about it and answer all those questions. Matt, you have a lot of social anxiety and feel that very often. Okay, wow. What kind of situations do you have the biggest FOMO? Lorraine says, I guess the only sense of FOMO that you have is that I am a part of the math program, but it seems like a big club that I'm not a part of. Wow. Yeah, that could definitely be it. So tell me a bit more about that, Lorraine. There's a big club that you're not a part of. It feels like that, right? I guess when you think about that, you think about there's this club that you're not a part of. Is it something that you've tried to be a part of and got rejected from? Or is it something that is there, but you just don't know how to get into? That can be quite a difference too. Bye, Malasu. Thanks for joining in. It was great to see you, and I appreciate you talking to us. So take care. See you later. Okay, Matt. Small groups doing something you enjoy. Yep. Yes, I think it's very normal to feel that way, especially if your own friends are doing something without you, right? You don't have to, I like to say, you don't want to gaslight yourself, which gaslighting means like telling yourself it is something that it isn't, right? It's okay to say, wow, that hurt my feelings, but then it's okay to acknowledge them and say, listen, I understand that I'm hurting right now, but the reality is that people can make their own choices. They could have invited me and they didn't. And that doesn't make me less of a person, right? It doesn't make me any less worthy. It is simply, it is what it is. They didn't invite me this time. And that's it. Point blank. If you want to have a discussion around it, you can. But often this is kind of nothing personal, right? And that's what we got to understand too. Each situation is different. Yeah. Oh. P4X, are you sticking with us or are you heading out too? I think you're just saying bye-bye to Masalo, right? Where are you from, P4X? Tell me about yourself. I feel like you're relatively new to the chat. I'd love to hear more about you. So FOMO, guys, I think we talked about a few different techniques, right? You can do a digital detox if that's where a lot of the stress is coming from. We talked about taking a little look behind the scenes, right? Why people are doing the things that they're doing and the steps to take it. We talked a little bit about grounding yourself in the present moment, right? Often we're like really, let's use Labubu's for example. You get really hyped up. You're seeing it online all the time and you're just feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm missing out so much because I don't have a Labubu. It's like, let's take a moment here. What is a Labubu? It is a doll that you put on your bag and you see it all the time. What is that? It's marketing. There's this crazy marketing thing going on right now. And all your friends are talking about it, which adds to the FOMO, right? They want it too. There's a scarcity tactic that's happening, right? There's a lot happening to make you want this, right? So just understanding that there's a lot of psychology and a lot of money put into making you want this thing. And once you understand that, hopefully that helps you make the choice of whether or not you actually want this thing, right? Labubu is all about fitting in. You want to be part of the it crowd. So that's a great example of something that is pretty much nothing created from marketing, right? We often fall into these materialistic traps. And again, it's not about whether or not that's a good thing. It's just understanding where it's coming from can be quite helpful. Lorraine, you miss out on their math banter because you're such an outsider. Okay, gotcha. So you're not able to join in on the math banter? Oh, yeah, Lorraine. So there's this feeling of being an other, an outsider. And I'd encourage you, of course, to look a little deeper within that. What is being an outsider to you? Can you define it? What is contributing to that? Right? Why are you an outsider? The age gap? Are they a bit younger or a bit older? New in the chat, but watching for a while. Oh, P4X, that's wonderful. I'm so glad that you've been watching for a while. My voice and the hair is kind of suggestible. Yeah, I get that a lot. I think it's just when you build up that, what do you call it? Yeah, you build up that suggestibility and whatnot. Totally a thing. Okay. Lorraine, so you're saying because that they're younger, you feel like you're an outsider, but you do have a lot in common with them, right? And this is where you gotta perhaps gently challenge yourself, right? It's like, okay, I'm older, but that doesn't mean that I don't have anything to contribute to the conversation, right? In fact, it sounds like you guys do have quite a lot in common when it comes to interests with the AI and everything. And it's like almost, what is that feeling that you have? Is it a feeling of self-consciousness when you think of your age? Is it worried of being judged by them for being older, right? It's where is that coming from? If you can dig a little deeper to try to understand it a bit more, it's always good to check in. Hi, Chester. Hi, Taran. Good. We're talking about FOMO, guys. Have you ever experienced it? It's the fear of missing out. So feel free to let me know if that's something you've ever experienced. Okay. Right. So they're all young and have promising futures, but you're a college dropout. It sounds like, Lorraine, that a lot of your self-esteem took a hit when you dropped out of college, right? And I'm here to tell you that that doesn't make you less of a person. Everybody's life takes a lot of trips and turns and goes all over the place. But it's all part of your story. It's all part of making you the person that you are today. And being hard on yourself for dropping out, I'd like to kind of encourage you to reflect on that. Being hard on yourself doesn't change the fact that you dropped out, but it is kind of like a life lesson there. You dropped out of something for one reason or another, but I'm also hearing that you're back trying school again, and it sounds like you have a very promising future too. So that's something, it's just like a slight reframe to help you feel a bit more confident in talking to these people. Because, it sounds like a sense of isolation because of what I perceive as ageism. Yeah, absolutely. So you're kind of feeling that from them. You're trying to talk to them and they're just not talking to you back. Is that it? Your traveled path doesn't align with the younger folks' path, so I feel separated from them. Yeah, Lorraine, it sounds like you actually have a lot of wisdom from your traveled path, right? They don't understand, so that's something that maybe they might be interested in hearing about. Yeah, I get that though. It's a bit anxiety inducing to put yourself out there and to talk to people like that, to be open and try something new. But I guess there's the other side of things where you don't have much to lose when you talk to them, right? You're trying to make a connection, be kind, your authentic self. If that doesn't resonate with them, at least you tried something. You tried your best, and that's all you can do, right? But sometimes you have to take the first step, especially with these young folk, right? You got to remember that they're experiencing FOMO too. They're trying to be in the it crowd, and they might, react one way or another, but that doesn't lower your value, right? If you're trying to be a good person, if you're just trying to make connections because that's what you want to do, and you get rejected, rejection is scary, but just remember, it doesn't make you less of a person. That's the important thing. Oh, thanks, Tara. Sorry, I'm just catching up, guys. If you wouldn't mind a quick pattern to interrupt to jolt me back up, that'd be helpful. Wake up! Gia. Hi, you just got to your live, so you want to know what my content is about. I am a therapist from Canada, and I talk tips and tricks about mental health, and I also release a lot of meditation, hypnosis, mindfulness recordings. So if that's something that interests you, please subscribe. I'd love to have you join our group, our little community here. I'm so glad you found us. Should you buy a Porsche or a Rolls Royce? Rolls Royce, yeah. Oh, thanks for answering, Matt. Sorry, sometimes I get on a little tangent and I miss part of the chat. Hi, Oni. Welcome. It's great to see you again. You have a lot of FOMO from dating when you were younger. People I wish I'd asked out but never did, I guess. Oh, Oni, that is a great example. A really good one that we haven't talked about yet. Absolutely. When you kind of wish that you did something, but you didn't. And dating is such a tricky one, right? Because it's so scary to put yourself on the line, right? To put yourself out there and get rejected, right? It's almost like fear of missing out is partially the fear of rejection too. So I'm sorry to hear that you have that, I guess, regret of not asking those people out. But just remember that, there's tons of people on this planet, lots of people to ask out. So don't give up. Keep on keeping on. And hopefully that special person will walk into your life. And if you want to be more active about it, get out there and put yourself in situations where you can meet these kind of people that might resonate with you. Go to places that you love, and hopefully you'll run into somebody who also loves that and has a lot of stuff in common with you. Lorraine. Oh, we talked about that. Your traveled path doesn't align with the younger folks' path. Yeah, you have a lot to offer, Lorraine, okay? Let's just say that. You have a lot of wisdom. Perhaps they don't understand, but I'm sure that there's a lot that they could take away from these stories. Exactly. Hey, if you watch the show Community, I think that's really what it's all about, right? There's a group of people and they're all different ages, but it doesn't matter, right? Their one thing in common at first is just the stuff that they're studying. It's a study group, and they become like really steadfast friends. So perhaps that could be your little homework if you have the time, is watch Community. Really fun show. And it really does kind of prove that, yeah, age is just a number. You can, of course, have things in common with the younger folk. And honestly, that's kind of the fun part, is getting to know these people who are younger, because they have things that they can talk about that you have no idea about. It's about being curious about each other, right? You're welcome, P4X. Matt Frank, you're too anxious to date even though you want to. Oh, you love Community, Lorraine? Amazing. There you go. Okay, just think of it like Community. That's the reframe, right? John Oliver's character, yes. He's so funny in that show. Oh my gosh. What's his... It's been so long since I watched it, but the main guy is so cute. I really like him. Hi, OG Triple. Matt, when it comes to dating anxiety, I guess if you want to talk about it, feel free to share a bit more. What makes you feel anxious about it? And have you been on many dates before? I find when it comes to dating, yeah, there's a lot of FOMO. Sometimes people say yes to people because they're worried, oh, I have to give this person a chance, or else what if they're my soulmate, when perhaps your gut is saying, I don't really want to date this person, right? And there's a whole balance. And I think when it comes to these things, fear of missing out, it's all about slowing down and really taking the time to process why you're feeling the way you feel, right? It's not about suppressing the fear of missing out. It's about understanding it. Jeff Winger. Yes, Jeff, I do. I do like Jeff Winger. Which one's your favorite character, Lorraine? Yes, he's very good at communicating. And he's very charismatic. Just his speeches always get me. I love those motivational speeches he gives to the group. I wish I had that ability. Working on it, guys. Oops. Yeah. Dating wise too. Oh my gosh. Have you guys done the online dating? That's how I met my husband. We met online dating, and it's a process, let me tell you. The fear of missing out, I think, I don't know if it 100% applies to this. Obviously, like, people message you and you have to decide whether or not you're willing to pursue that. And again, I guess fear of missing out could be like, if I don't go on this date right now, this opportunity might never come back. So yeah, slowing down and remembering, even making a list of what you want in a partner, right? What are you looking for? Is it, I'm looking for somebody who makes me laugh. I'm looking for somebody who is intelligent or is good looking or, you know, has a stable job or something like that. It doesn't matter, right? There's no right or wrong. And this is where, again, it's like, I'm not an ethical person. If you just want a hottie with a body, that's fine. if that's what aligns with your values. And I encourage you to understand why. Perhaps it's because you work out a lot and that's something that you really value. So you want somebody who's like really ripped as well. Okay, that makes sense. Like, how are you gonna, weigh that out? You don't have to feel bad about that per se, right? I'm not here to make you feel bad about anything. It's about understanding yourself. His ability to connect. Yes, Jeff Winger has this superpower about being kind of the team leader, right? Bringing everyone. And he's also a bit of a manipulator, let's be honest, too. It feels safer to hide behind the screen. Yeah, Matt, I get that, right? Meeting people in person is really scary. Talking to people is one thing, but then meeting them in person is scary because, one, you don't know how it's going to go. And two, sometimes you get in a really awkward situation. Trust me, I've been there, guys. The awkward online dating phase is always hard, but I think also you got to remember why you're doing it, right? If your dream in life is to have like a happy family and a marriage, it's not just going to fall from the sky. It might, but it's probably going to take a little bit of work from your end in order to achieve it, right? So you got to put on some of that resilience, that mental armor, and always remembering your self-worth is not tied to any stranger or their opinions of you. That's really important to remember. So you go on a bad date, it's not really just your fault. It's like a disconnection, right? Compatibility wasn't there, and that's okay. Oh yeah, he is a lawyer, isn't he? Lorraine says, your favorite person from Community is Abed because he has the natural ability to see the positive in life. I know, he's such a sweetheart. I do love Abed. I wonder, I haven't really seen him in anything else since Community. I hope he's doing okay. Because he was really good actor. They all deserve all the success. Oh, thanks, Matt. Yeah, just don't give up, Matt, if that's your dream, right? If you're feeling scared about being judged, that sounds like something to work on, right? Is to build up that confidence in yourself. And yeah, self-esteem takes time to work on. I certainly, nobody's perfect. You're not ever going to have like the perfect self-esteem or anything, but yeah, if you got to remind yourself every now and then, it's okay. You're a valuable person. You deserve to be here. And you're trying your best. It's some good affirmations to tell yourself, right, guys? Are we still friends with Alice and Bree? That's nice to hear. I didn't know that. Yeah, that crew is really cool. I hear that there was some drama with the guy who played Pierce. Like, he was actually rude in real life or something, which is unfortunate. Didn't he get kicked off the show or something? I'm pretty sure he did get kicked off Community, or he quit or something. I don't want to spread misinformation, but let me look it up. Okay, quickly. Community. Pierce kicked off the show? Question mark. Okay, yeah, he left the show. Pierce Hawthorne, played by Chevy Chase, was phased out in season 4 and officially written out. Okay, it doesn't really say why. Maybe that's just the drama that I've heard, the fake internet drama. Possibly. I don't want to add to the drama, guys. I'm not problematic, okay? Only sometimes. All right, guys. Well, we got in a dispute with the creator. Is that right? Okay. That makes sense. All right, guys. Well, I feel like we covered FOMO quite well. Thank you for everybody who contributed to the conversation. I really appreciate that. I think we had a really fun chat. Yeah, And just remember, it can be about scarcity, it can be about missing out, it can be about a lot of different things, but just slow it down, analyze, and choose whatever aligns with your values. All right. If you don't know your values, there's some fun online PDF stuff you can find. Just type in my values workbook or something, and it'll come up for you. And yeah, it can be fun to just explore what's important in life. Sometimes it can be surprising when you do these things and really focus on understanding yourself. But again, my name is Johanna Dinsdale from Multi-Therapy. Feel free to subscribe, like, comment, share, join my membership if you'd like to support the channel. I do virtual therapy for Canadians, so if you're interested, check out multitherapy.co. And yeah, take care, guys. It's great catching up. Bye, everybody. Bye, Matt. Bye,